Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome aboard. So I'm gonna do a story time today. It's kind of a story time. It's also kind of like how things work at the Jungle Cruise. But everything I'm listing today is stuff that I have seen other skippers do, so it's kind of a story time. So I'm gonna count that. So I am gonna be talking about things that skippers are not supposed to do, but sometimes still do. These are things that are explicitly told not to do as part of the script or as part of the training, or things that you should just kind of like know that you shouldn't do just for a lot of reasons. So that's what I'm talking about today. Some things that Jungle Cruise skippers really shouldn't do, but some of them do. So my first two are going to be things that are done with guests on the boat. Neither one of them you're supposed to do with guests on or off the boat, doesn't matter. They are not supposed to be done. The first of which is you are not supposed to talk in the temple. Now, why that is, I don't actually remember. Any fellow skips or anyone who just happens to know, like, let me know. I don't remember why they told us not to talk in the temple. I never really questioned it because it was like the only time that you didn't have to talk throughout the day. So that was my like, sit down, relax, rest the throat, drink some water minute of the ride. So I cherished that time. I don't know if it has something to do with the acoustics and like you're not supposed to talk in there because the echo is really bad. If the audio somehow would interfere with the inside of the temple, I don't know. But you were not supposed to talk in the temple. Now, that being said, a lot of people do. It is okay to say like, you know, oh, this could be painful. Looks like we're heading into a root canal as you come into the entrance of the temple and you see the roots on the canal. So a lot of, you know, that's okay to say, but once you get actually into the temple, you're not supposed to talk. The two things that I know that a lot of people do because they're funny are they will sing It's a Small World, but like super slow and creepy, and they'll like hold the mic away so it's just kind of like a little voice echoing around singing It's a Small World. And you know, that's kind of creepy and people are like, ooh. But the other thing that people do is they reference Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and they sing the creepy song that he sings when he's on the boat going through the tunnel. And I'm not gonna put y'all through me singing, but that's another thing that skippers do sometimes is they will sing the Willy Wonka song and creep the guests out. I don't know why. But I never did any of that. Like I said, I just sat down and drank my water and took a second to breathe. But you are not technically supposed to talk in the temple, but I bet some of you have probably had a skipper who did. The other thing that some skippers do with guests on the boat that you really shouldn't do, it is actually like told to you when you are training. It is in the script. It is, you know, it's very blatant that you are not supposed to do this, and that is the gun. You are not supposed to shoot the gun at the hippos. A lot of skippers don't shoot the gun at all. Hi, that was me. It was loud. The sound effect was really loud. I did not like it at all. So I just like use the gun to like shoo the hippos and, you know, growl at them and scare them away. But you can shoot the gun and there is a sound effect. It used to shoot blanks. It doesn't do that anymore. The gun does not actually have any projectiles at all. So it's safe, but because of animal cruelty prevention, we do not want to even pretend like we are shooting at the hippo. If they do shoot the gun, it's supposed to go up into the trees, and then they say something to the effect of, don't worry, I got the ones up in the trees. You don't have to worry about those. But it was probably 10 or 15 years ago, probably more than that now, where they decided that we do not any longer want to shoot at the hippos. Some people still do, especially skippers who have been there for a long time, and that was just like ingrained in them, and that was part of their spiel, was to shoot the hippos. Some of them will say that they're shooting the water around the hippos, but in general you are not supposed to have a skipper aim the gun into the water at all, because it can be implied that you are trying to shoot at the animal. So we don't want to do that. So that's why they aim it up into the trees, or they, you know, just don't even shoot it at all and they just kind of use it to wave off the scary hippos. The last one that I'm going to mention is something that skippers do kind of for the entertainment of other skippers, because you do it when you don't have any guests on your boat. That's something that a lot of people don't realize, that at night when they're are not as many people coming onto the Jungle Cruise, they don't just wait until you get people onto each boat, because they have a certain number of boats that are on the river. They have a certain timing that they need to maintain. So if that time frame comes and goes and that boat doesn't have anyone on there, they send it off through the river just to keep everything flowing. So that's what you call a dead boat. That boat just goes out with nobody on it, and the skipper just doesn't do a spiel. They just drive the boat through the river and come back around, and maybe they get guests on the next round. But that happens kind of a lot at nighttime, because not too many people are coming at nighttime, because I've mentioned before, and I'll say it again, people don't realize that you can actually see stuff on the Jungle Cruise at night. However, as we all know, what do I think of it? I think it's better. Anyway, so if you are on a boat that does not have any guests on it, when the dispatch time comes up, they go ahead and send you off through the river, you're going by yourself. Now, you just kind of sit there the entire time. You don't have to talk, you don't have to entertain anyone, so you just kind of get a nice quiet ride through the jungle. It can be creepy AF, not gonna lie, especially when you're going through and there is no one talking, you're not talking, all you hear is the ambient sounds of the jungle, real and audio, so it can be kind of creepy. It's also very relaxing to just kind of be cruising through the jungle. You should, in fact, still be at your wheel, controlling your throttle, controlling your boat. This does not give you free license to just like lay down and let your boat run ashore. You have to actually stand there and make sure, you know, because what if a boat in front of you has died? You hit it if you're not paying attention. So you have to actually be aware. You have to do, you know, still control your boat. But some skippers think it's cute and funny to ghost ride the ship. And now I have E40 playing in my head. So if you know what ghost riding is, back in the day, before the In My Feelings challenge, people would get on the hood of their cars and let the car go without them actually being behind the wheel. Skippers decided that that would be something fun to do on the boats as well. When they come past, the two boats cross each other's paths when you're coming up to Schweitzer Falls, and the boat that's coming behind Schweitzer Falls, when you see the backside of water, that's where a lot of the times people will do that, because they can see the lights of the other boat coming and they're like, hey, I'm gonna mess with the skipper. So they will get the boat going straight, they will adjust the throttle, and then they will hop onto the front end of the boat and sit out where the lantern is on the very front, and they will ghost ride the ship. And you really should not do that. That is not safe in any capacity. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for the boat. It's not safe for the other guests who could be seeing that happen if that person behind you doesn't have a dead boat. So you really shouldn't do that. I do know a couple of skippers who did it. They no longer work for Disney. That is a termination worthy offense. So if you are a current skipper, don't get any ideas. If you are thinking about, hey, I'm gonna be a skipper, no, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Those are some things that skippers sometimes do with guests or without guests that they really shouldn't be doing. So that is it for today. That's my little mini story time PSA all about the Jungle Cruise, whatever we want to call this. Do you have anything at your job, you know, it doesn't have to be a theme park job, but do you have anything at your job that you know, people technically aren't supposed to do, but they still do when no one's looking? Let me know. Don't get anyone in trouble, but like, let me know what some of those things are. You don't have to tell me if you've done it. Just what are some things that you've seen done? And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.